Hello, everybody. This is Adam Warnock, the Dabbling Warlock, and today we're going to be doing day 19 of Learn to Draw in 30 Days. Yes, we are almost 2/3 of the way through just today and tomorrow, and we're in the home stretch. And whoops, 1 second. So, apologies for the double music. I forgot to switch my audio source before we started. So, anywho, let's get started. So, what are we going to be doing today? Well, if you saw the thumbnail for the video, you may be wondering, space, what the heck? I have an oddball sense of humor. We're going to be drawing we're going to be drawing a cylinder and a box rotating in space. So I think the easiest one to do is going to be the box. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and get started and draw a very quick box like this. And actually, let's get these vertical lines looking a little bit more vertical and less cattywampus. There we go. All right. So there's our first box. Yep. So, there we go. So yes, and the entire reason I used the Space Core was simply because Marc said rotate them in space. That is the entire reason I did that. Was just because of his word choice. So yeah. Alright, so there's our first box. So we can go ahead and just shade the bottom there. And then, don't know if that's really necessary, but let's go ahead and do that. Alright, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be drawing it rotating. So like, if this is the axis of rotation, we're going to be drawing it rotating this way. So, counterclockwise, if you will. Or, isn't that also called Widdershins? I don't know. That's okay. So, we're going to be drawing this more face on. So, we're going to have let's see. We do want to try and get these to be the same size. So we're just going to use this edge right here as kind of our meter stick. So and let's go ahead and label this as 1. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to try and get this more face on. And have this receding more into the background, like this. Alright, so Again, don't really know if this is necessary, but we'll go ahead and add it. And actually, I think I kind of missed. Yeah, I did mess this one up. So what's going on here is that I drew the top and bottom of that face as if they were converging like this, when really I should have drawn it more like this. So that's what's going on there. That's okay. That's okay. What we can do is we can just cut that, move that over here, and we'll just go ahead and actually, nope. Yes, there we go. Go here, and I think we got this big thing, so we can just go ahead and cross that out. And then we'll go ahead and select our previous tool and our previous color, like that. And we'll try again. Right after I just try and make the outer edges of this stand out a little bit more. That might be a little too thick. Okay. Okay, so let's try this again. All right, and then we're gonna, nope, not quite that much. And same here, this one's gonna be almost horizontal. Not quite. There we go, and then we're just gonna draw that right there. And we'll go ahead and erase that part. And then we'll just go ahead and draw the cross. So what's happening is, actually that should be getting a little wider. I think that's a little more. Yeah, I think that's a little more accurate. All right. Okay. Okay, so that's our first one, and I think I got this angled back a little. Oh. There we go. Sorry, I had to make a little bit of adjustment to my tablet monitor. I had it leaning a little too far back. So I think we're good, though. I think we're good now. All right, so what's going to happen is that this face is going to get a little bit bigger, but because we're rotating it more, this face is going to get smaller. Actually, I don't think... Yeah, I think that's more. Actually, I think that may be... Yeah, I think that's more closer to the... I don't know if I draw... Here, we'll just go ahead and erase that. We'll just draw this out. And then draw this. And then we'll draw the vertical. Actually, I might want to... Yeah, that looks better. So this isn't really drawing in perspective. If I was doing that, I'd be I'd be using the perspective tools guides up here, but we're not doing that. So we're just going for what looks right. And this is a case of close enough is good enough, or good enough. If it looks good, it's close enough. It doesn't have to be perfect. So. All right, so that's box number 2. And I think this one's going to be running a little bit long, folks. So, yeah, it's already been 10 minutes, and we're not even halfway done. Okay, and then for this last one, we're just going to draw... yeah, we're just gonna draw this pretty much like it's looking at it face on. So it's still gonna be, probably needs to be a little bit taller than that. So. Okay, and then this is effectively going to be let me undo that one. Yeah. All right, there we go. And we can go ahead and erase that, erase that. Get that clean up a little bit. And then draw straight down like that. There we go. All right, and there's our third box. And it's not perfect. I think the proportions changed a little bit, but it's close enough. It's obviously kind of rotating. Although, and you can keep doing this. This is actually, if you want to get good at like depicting stuff at different angles, is what you really want to do is you want to like do like a full 360-degree rotation, not just like not just around like the vertical like that, but you also want to do it around like that, and even like that. So if you want to get if you want to use some aviation terms, it would be the pitch, the yaw, and the roll. And then do it and then start like combining it and stuff like that. I'm not gonna do that because that would just be probably a couple hours of me just like concentrating on doing that and no talking. One of the things I've noticed is that as I've been doing these, it's either drawing or talking because I'm having to concentrate and I can't really concentrate and talk at the same time. All right, so anyway, there's our boxes. That. There we go. So now we're going to be doing our cylinders. So cylinders, same principle, and we're gonna this time we're gonna be looking at it from above instead of looking at it from below like we were doing with the boxes. So what we're gonna do for the cylinders is we're just going to maybe not like that small. Hold on. Let me figure out what angle I want to do this at. Okay. There we go. And we'll call that all right. And we just want to match what we got going there, except maybe a little bit smaller. All right. Then we link up the tangents, and we can go ahead and erase this bit here because we don't need it anymore. And then we can find like a midpoint. Although if I was really going for a midpoint, might be a little smarter to do some of the perspective tricks that I know to actually divide it up. Okay, so there's the first one. And this time we're going to rotate it the other way. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. So we're going to do a narrower ellipse like that. And then yeah, I just made a hash out of that. That's okay. You can try again. Okay, maybe not as big of a step. Yeah, there we go. No, probably more like right here. There we go. I think that's... Okay, so there we go. And then we're gonna try and do this almost like we're looking at it side on, but not quite. So this is gonna be a very, very skinny ellipse. Actually, yeah, I think that looks a little bit better. Okay, so there's our 3 cylinders. And hey, actually it didn't take quite as long as I thought it would be. So yeah, that's actually another thing is like the more you do this and when you get warmed up, it gets a lot easier to, you get a lot faster. Because you get more confident and you're not worrying as much because you're starting to get into it. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You don't have to just do like boxes and cylinders either. It really wouldn't make much sense for a sphere because this is pretty much what a sphere rotating would be like. So that'd be 1, 2, 3. So yeah, that's pretty much or blah, sorry. But you could also do things like prisms. So if you really wanted to make it hard on yourself, you could do something like a tetrahedron, which is, if you're a nerd like me, you may know it better as the D4, which has 4 sides. So there's one side on the back that you can't see, and there's one side under here that you can't see. So you could draw something like that. You could do you can do like a hexagonal prism. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff you can do. It doesn't just have to be boxes and cylinders. They're just the easiest place to start. So anyway, that's it for today. I hope you'll join me tomorrow for day 20, and when we'll be 2/3 of the way through this. And I hope to see you then. Hope you've enjoyed it. This is the Dabbling Warlock signing off.